Lianhua's reasoning power, Yuan Bingyan, you are my Laolan. How might I begin writing to communicate my like to you? Really at that time can we express or vent the foul play of this world? I take a full breath, prepared to convey positive energy. All things considered, since I'm in the diversion whirlpool, I can begin from media outlets. Many individuals say that the main thing in China's media outlet is stars. As a matter of fact, there is a short truth, the ironclad diversion circle and the streaming star. For a really long time, there have been renunciations, excusals, tumultuous confidential lives, questions and claims. In and out, individuals travel every which way. A considerable amount, many individuals left, and many new individuals came in. Obviously, the rookies walked the Blossom Street with the radiance of traffic, giving media outlets a feeling of newness and sprouting independently. A huge extent of the people who have gone are immediately neglected. Certainly, by far most of leavers are moreover merited. I out of nowhere recollected the enormous occasion in media outlets that year, the article wrecked Yao Di, and the two individuals' unreasonable way of behaving of trouble and poised straightforwardly annihilated two exceptional youthful entertainers. Truly, it's awful. It's Mama Yeli's unmistakable sentence, make it happen and treasure it, which is likewise a ton of changes and weakness. Subsequently, general sound judgment will let us know or comprehend media outlets, who is truly absent and who has left. Whenever time has elapsed, and thinking back, it won't be no joking matter. The sun is as yet hauling the turning earth to go through space at rapid. Consistently, the sun will in any case sparkle into our room through the window in the early morning. Baidu, Taoxiao in different stages, observing a wide range of data. How could this world change not the slightest bit? Albeit pretty much fans felt uncomfortable for their deities around then, however time will permit them to get back to a serene life gradually. Notwithstanding, with regards to my Yuan Bingyan, my Xiaming, I need to say, assuming Yuan Bingyan truly vanishes or grows dim of the amusement circle like those troublemakers who were hit hard previously, then, at that point, I can say, Yuan Bingyan is up until this point, the Chinese media outlet has been the primary individual to be killed by some dim detestable powers in view of extreme greatness, over-the-top exertion and unreasonable transcendence. Numerous youthful fans know this exceptionally certain idiom, send your own light, why mood color others' lights. From this trademark, there are genuinely horrendous individuals in this world who put off others' lights, and there ought to be many. In any case, why yell trademarks, isn't that so? It's like, for what reason do we advance natural security? It is exactly on the grounds that many individuals are not harmless to the ecosystem, so we need to yell mottos to advance ecological assurance. Exclamation mark. The light from Yuan Bingyan's light is excessively strong, hindering the light of a wide range of related stars with her. Obstructing the light of different stars is identical to hindering others' name and impeding others' light. Benefits. In antiquated times, individuals who block others' abundance will be killed by others, and, surprisingly, the entire family will be killed. Luckily, presently is a socialized society controlled by regulation. The individuals who are impeded from the light need to play the dark hand to join together and redress break Yuan Bingyan. Really at that time can their light be delivered and their light not all that faint. Try not to anticipate that this gathering should have inner voice, they have capital and even certain privileges, and afterward for more prominent name and fortune, things like heart have for some time been neglected. Full stop. Our Yuan Bingyan is a tireless and sensible specialist. From when it was not famous to now, it has been calm and demanded doing a wide range of noble cause for over a decade. As a youthful entertainer in this period, it is truly rare. Yuan Bingyan actually continued on in excess of 30 shows. She never involves a substitute, with the exception of the people who are especially expert, and she can play out a wide range of scenes without anyone else, and I have never known about her playing large names. Bit by bit, I endeavored to play the courageous woman and the enormous champion. A strong work, an indispensable job. As a youthful entertainer, this is constantly thought of great. Question mark. Ibby's endeavors have gathered an enormous number of faithful fans, when the light increases and more grounded. Yuan Bingyan was going to spread her unadulterated and kind wings and needed to fly higher. Snapped. The stick of obscurity tumbled from the sky. Is this an unadulterated incident? Or on the other hand unadulterated criticism? I can't say. I trust in the majority, regardless of whether they are melon-eating masses. I accept they possess brain power. Furthermore, Yuan Bingyan isn't similar to a few female stars. Those female stars don't have any idea where they came from. They don't need to really buckle down, and the games don't need to be excessively hard, and they come up consistently. I even glance at no such star. Albeit these are only my own abstract positions, I actually put stock in the method of heaven. Since when individuals are vulnerable and defenseless and frail, they can assemble their hands and have confidence in the method of paradise. In the event that I'm discussing, if my Yuan Bingyan was truly crushed by dimness, lastly constrained to become dull of seeing conventional individuals gradually, I will say, Yuan Bingyan, the sky is open, you will continuously be the firecrackers of various tones in my heart, firecrackers across the sky, as brief and brilliant as Laulan. Regardless of whether the sky is essentially as brilliant as a waterway of stars, it is still not quite so great as you. Regardless of whether Yuan Bingyan resembles the transient blossom from the Lotus Sutra. She has been buckling down for quite some time and has experienced the tempest, aggregating all her energy just to hang tight for that second of blooming. A snapshot of blooming, a snapshot of falling. Many individuals have not had the opportunity to appreciate it. Yet, you are as yet amazing and your wonder is as yet unblemished. A second is an unending length of time, a snapshot of incredible empathy, a snapshot of extraordinary distress. The old and baffling Laulan, a nation remaining on the Silk Street, was established in 176 years before the recreation area, yet unexpectedly vanished short-term in 630 years before the recreation area, which is as yet a strange problem. The historical backdrop of the 5,000 Chinese civilizations is in my heart, each stroke is brilliant. The antiquated realm of Laulan, short however superb. 02. In the wake of watching the Lotus House Extraordinary, I'm anticipating Cheng Yi's Lianhua. From youth to puberty, combative techniques has forever been with us. Despite the fact that we are as yet entering this present reality and developing, we are still brimming with expectation and energy when we see hand-to-hand fighting dramatizations and champions entering the wilderness. Subsequent to watching the extraordinary episode of Lotus House as of late, I was truly anticipating this show. Cheng Yi, Xiao evade Yao, Zen disregard Hey, three attractive men lead the lead job, the eyes of the steely and sharp, and uncovered that there are parts of little stories connected up to turn into a real issue, step on the stream lake to divulge the tension. Furthermore, what draws in me more is Cheng Yi's battle scenes. Cheng Yi plays Lianhua in the show, whose is a Jianghu character and plans to avoid the Jianghu, yet the Jianghu has consistently had his legend. Cheng Yi's battle scenes are smooth and clean, he is thin yet his battle scenes are flawlessly expressed. He has a gallant air about him, and it wouldn't be an embellishment to say that he is the ideal decision for Lianhua. This is additionally because of Cheng Yi's diligent effort in the background, particularly the scene where he raises his blade and slices across his midsection. His developments are truly whimsical. All things considered, I anticipate Lotus House with Lianhua, and to Lianhua with Cheng Yi. 03. Li Qian couldn't care less about being squeezed into administration, giving Xiao Zhanren as the subsequent female lead, turning into the objective contender for the subsequent female lead. Li Qian has been in media outlets for such countless years, in spite of the fact that he has not been elevated to a well-known stream blossom, yet the public prevalence and interest is really not terrible and has a specific status. Hence, she has been flawlessly entering the gathering for such countless years and has been dynamic before the screen. Obviously, aside from her prevalence and status, there is another thing about Li Qian that the show's makers appreciate and will welcome her to work with them. The movie's chief, Li Qian, couldn't care less about the quantity of jobs and doesn't drive herself to play the lead job. Li Qian couldn't care less about being forced, she is working with Xiao Zhanren as the subsequent female lead. At this phase of media outlets, all entertainers who are somewhat popular and have a progression of traffic are electing to request that the team give them a section. On the off chance that they don't, it's useless to keep on arranging, no slack by any means. It gives individuals an inclination that in the event that they don't try it out, they will be embarrassed. I couldn't say whether it's a demonstration, or on the other hand assuming it's playing the position, it's exceptionally vain. In any case, the position of safety Li Qian couldn't care less about such things as the first and second time, as long as the content is great, the group is great I will act, don't consider the quantity of seats so significant. The main thing for an entertainer is to act and talk with their acting abilities. So it's not difficult to see that some of Li Qian's shows are the entire second rate, and they generally come after the male lead. A long way from it, we should accept two forthcoming dramatizations that are definitely standing out, one is Satisfy June and the other is That Ocean in Dreams. On account of welcoming the Lord, Li Qian's co-star is Ren Jilan, so as far as the quantity of jobs, Ren Jilan is the first and Li Qian is the second. The equivalent is valid for The Ocean and the Fantasy, where she worked with well-known entertainer Xiao Zhan and haggled with him as the subsequent female lead and Xiao Zhan as the unadulterated first male lead. Li Qian couldn't care less about this sort of move of some, or more satisfying to the eye. The undeniable reality is that there could be no other entertainer who is conspicuous and needs to be a main woman, or, more than likely, everything is free. The real twice what, the fundamental show is great, everything isn't an issue, as expected can get benefits from it. The explanation is that the watchers don't take a gander at the quantity of seats, they take a gander at the genuine substance of the show, and a decent exhibition is superior to whatever else. Thus consider the possibility that the subsequent entertainer is something similar. It's equivalent to being the lead entertainer in the show, she's as yet the primary entertainer in the cast, so it's essentially a similar impact. There's compelling reason need to battle for the lead, why not concentrate on the content more? Lianhua is progressively turning into the show's target possibility for the subsequent female lead. Lianhua's absence of rivalry for the job isn't without its advantages. The most prompt advantage is that she is found in a better light by the show and can get moderately great film and TV assets. Since Lianhua couldn't care less about the quantity of jobs, it saves the creation group a great difficult situation and they don't need to stress over the quantity of jobs. The explanation is that she couldn't care less about the quantity of seats, so it's more straightforward and less tedious to arrange. Regardless of whether it end up working, they can track down another entertainer. This is something beneficial for Lianhua, as she is normally presented to a wide range of film and TV assets and isn't apprehensive about being left without a film in a cutthroat circumstance, so she is less impacted by the film and TV winter. Obviously, it isn't so much that you couldn't care less about the quantity of jobs, however then again, Lianhua is a well-known entertainer and can assume the job of a subsequent female lead. As such, Lianhua is a decent incentive for cash and the show will utilize her. This is a quality that the typical entertainer doesn't have, she can act and couldn't care less about the quantity of jobs. On the off chance that there were more entertainers like Lianhua in media outlets, there wouldn't be the issue of conflict over the quantity of seats, and there wouldn't be many individuals tearing each other separated over the quantity of seats. It's inescapable that an entertainer like Lianhua might want to be welcomed by the show.